Well, hi everyone. This is Ken here, and I am part of the talent acquisition team here within Pwc Malaysia. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon for this GRADUAN live session. And I think most importantly, thank you, GRADUAN, for inviting Pwc Malaysia to be part of this GRADUAN live. Now, there has been a lot of work behind this, and at the same time, if you have watched all of the promo videos that's been up, I'm sure you are probably quite excited for this session as much as I am. So without further ado, okay, let us start off this session, #MyPwcExperience, by introducing some of our panels who are here with me to kind of start off with an introduction of themselves. Okay, maybe we'll start off with the ladies first.
Hi everyone, I'm Jen, and I read law with Queen's Belfast.
Okay, so we have Jen, who studied law at Queen's Belfast, okay? Then next, maybe we'll have Mikhail.
Hi, my name is Mikhail. I did mechanical engineering in the University of Sheffield.
Wow, University of Sheffield, okay. Never mind, we have one more guest, okay? Maybe we let him introduce himself as well. So, Rashwin?
Hi, I'm Rashwin, and I studied mechanical engineering as well in University of Technology Petronas.
Wow, UTP, in mechanical engineering as well. So, aren't you guys curious? Mechanical engineering, law? What do they have to do at Pwc Malaysia? So, why not, Mikhail? You tell us, what do you do actually at Pwc Malaysia?
Right, so I am in RAS, Risk Assurance Services, and I am in the Business Continuity Management team, the BCM team. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, Business Continuity Management, but it's kind of like crisis management. So yeah, I kind of use a bit of engineering skills here and there, but...
Oh, I see. So there is something called BCM, Business Continuity Management. Okay, so not just accounting then, huh?
Not just accounting.
Okay, alright. Then how about you, Jen? What do you do?
I joined the firm under the tax management training program. So it's a 2 years program where you get rotated across 3 tax departments and 1 assurance department. Currently, I'm attached to the tax transfer program.
Wow, tax management trainee program. Did you guys know that PLC has a tax management trainee program? Well, we can find out a bit more from her later on, okay? Last but not least, Rashwin, coming from UTP. What are you doing in the firm?
Well, I'm part of the Audit and Assurance team, and I'm also currently studying ICW as part of the Aspiring Accountant program, and it's part-time.
Engineer turned auditor? Wow, never knew that was possible, right? Well, fret not, we also have Rashwin here who will be able to share some of his experience. But you spoke about ICAW, okay? Is that something that you intended to do when you graduated?
Oh no. Actually, PwC called me. I had actually met you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In UTP, you came for the career fair.
Okay.
And I met you, and you explained about AAP program. And so after a few months, I dropped my resume to you, and PwC called me, and they explained about the AAP program again to me, and I decided to apply for it. And after that, things went along. I took some time to think about it, and finally, I decided to go for it.
Wow, so good to have you on board with us, Rashwin. Now, then, Jen, I do want to ask, under this tax management trainee program, how are you feeling right now?
I find it very rewarding. Like I get to interact with the different colleagues across different departments, and I get to observe and also be part of different teams that have different culture and different mode of working. I was in a relatively small department in my first rotation. I was with tax dispute resolution. So basically, I did quite a bit of legal research, tax law research, and that's not really something that we would think of when we think of accounting firms. So yeah, it's quite a diverse experience, I would say.
Wow, here you go. So you guys heard it. Tax is not just about, the computation, but it is beyond that, okay? Now then, Mikhail, Business Continuity Management. Maybe before you even tell us what you do, give us one word to describe your work life right now.
Ooh, work life. I think challengingly fun. I mean, like BCM is something new. I mean, there's no course in uni that teaches BCM. So I mean, to me, it's something new. But also, while learning all this, it is very fun as well. So,
I see. Okay. Now I'm gonna throw that same question to you, right, Rashwin? One word to describe your work life at PwC, working as an auditor.
Well, Is it really one word if it's growth inspired?
Wow, growth inspired. I wouldn't mind, it being 2 words. Okay, growth inspired. Okay, but actually, Rashwin, I do have a follow-up question, which I'm assuming the audience will probably want to know, right? Why from an engineering degree to a career pathways as an auditor?
Okay, so, well, it's a long story, but to cut it short, I've always been into maths, and when I heard about this program and PwC offered it to me, I really took my time to think about it. I spoke to a lot of people who did engineering and a lot of people who did accounting as well. And I saw this as a pathway for me to grow and excel, not just in terms of individually or personally, but in terms of being able to contribute back to society.
Wow, okay. So that actually aligns with our purpose as well, right, guys? So maybe we'll talk about that later, okay? But I also want to ask Jen maybe the same thing, right? Use one word to describe your work life now at PwC.
Work life enriching.
Enriching, okay, I'm sure, right? From studying law, then now under this tax management training program, and it's not just your typical computation of tax. Okay, all right. Then maybe Jen, this other question I wanted to ask as well, right? It's now that you have been under this tax management trainee program, what are the 3 things that you like about working at PwC?
First, I think it would be most importantly the people here.
Okay.
So in PwC, you get to be surrounded by a lot of inspiring colleagues, inspiring people that you can look up to and learn from. And I think that's very important for like someone who's a new joiner. You always seek to be inspired and like to have something that you would want to model after. And the second thing would be probably the multitude of flex benefits that we have in our firm. Like I appreciate that I don't have to dress up every single day. That's a very big plus for me personally.
I see.
And I also appreciate that in PwC there are a lot of like flexibilities in the way we work, and also like the way we choose to do our work, deliver our work. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Jen. I think that to me is also quite inspiring, okay? So thank you so much for sharing that. Then, Mikhail, how about you?
Right, so like Jan said about the flex benefit. So we have this thing called Flex Fridays, where it's every second Friday of the month we get, not to say it's not, you can't get half day off. If you have not much work, you can take the half day off to do your commitments, where I think it's useful because things like LHDN, banks, they all close at 5 and you never get the time to do it. So I think that's one of it. Second would be the cross lines of service engagements. So I'm in risk assurance, but I have also engagements with the consulting team, which I get to learn a lot about the industry. Also, another plus would be the office. Our office is in Brickfields. And as you know, Brickfields has wonderful food.
Yep, I definitely would agree with you on that. And I think Flex Fridays, one of my favorite, and I guess it is correct, right? Every government or banking itself, they generally operate on the working business hours. Yeah. So having that Friday off to kind of do some of these items, right, are quite beneficial for me especially. And I do find myself running a lot of these errands on my own personal front, right? And thanks to the firm for giving us this Flex Friday. If not, I do not know when I'm going to be able to do all of that. Okay. Then how about for you, Rashwin?
I think like Mikhail mentioned, the food, because we're situated in KL Central, you can find all types of food around, and I love Northern Indian food.
Okay.
Everything is so easily reachable in Brickfields. But coming back to life in PwC, I think the most important thing is our flexibility. And I actually had a senior who left PwC and joined another firm.
Okay.
And in the end, after a couple of years, he decided to return to PwC because he preferred the culture here as it's more flexible. And like both Jen and Mikhail have mentioned, the flexibility is really good. You work based on your own time. Of course, you have to accommodate with your client as well. But flex benefits, such as we get we get to take MC.
Yeah.
Sorry, we get to take the day.
Oh, yes.
If you're not feeling well,
Yep.
you take the day off without an MC.
Yep.
That's really useful if you're tired, especially.
Okay.
And at the end, the most important thing though is having a good relationship with my colleagues, as that's has helped me to make the switch from engineering to accounting smoother.
I see. So I think I totally agree with you, right? We have Mikhail, who is from the risk assurance business. Then we have Jen, who is under the tax division, and you under the audit, and I'm coming from HR, right? And now all of us are actually here in a panel, doing a live session. So I think this is the type of, opportunities and relationships that you are able to build from working in an organization as such, okay? And I guess then the next question is, right, nicely lead into our conversation. How would you actually describe, right, the working culture here at PwC Malaysia?
I would say for me, it's very independent as I get to work. Of course, there's also I have really kind colleagues. I have a good relationship with my colleagues, so that helps the culture as it, because when you're independent, your work is output based, and you can work at any time, but you just need to be responsible for your work and get it done when it's due. So because as I have a good relationship with my colleagues as well, I get to ask them questions freely, openly, anytime. And of course, you wouldn't want to burden them, but they're open to it. You do not feel pressured to work by yourself. And that's important for me.
I see, okay. And how about for you, Jen?
I would say it's dynamic. Within like our work itself, it's never a boring day. It's always buzzing with things, and you can always learn things. There are always things to learn and a lot of room to grow. And outside of just like our job scope, if you are interested in like some extracurricular like programs, maybe you can join some CSR projects like planting mangrove trees.
Okay.
Which I really wanted to join, but it's, once it's up, it's always fully registered.
Okay.
And other things like, we have like things like lunch with strangers, or like Toastmasters. There are like different activities that kind of caters to your hobbies in a sense. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Planting mango trees. And I think our team needs to take note of that. We need to open up more spaces, okay? Now, how about Mikhail?
Right, I think the working culture here, it's a professional firm, but we're also very relaxed. So I would say relaxed professional. And to add to what Jen said, apologies, but I did go for the mangrove planting, and I think I might have took your spot. But so I think that comes back to my point where, yes, we are professional, but we don't have to wear a tie every day. But we are also relaxed, like how you said, we had the CSR. And I guess it's kind of fun in a way. So,
I see. Okay, all right. Now, before I go on with my other questions, okay, actually, we are getting some questions from the floor, okay? So I'm just going to throw some of these questions out for you to answer. Now, there's one specifically for Jen. Which rotation did you enjoy the most during your tax management trainee program, and why?
Okay, thus far I've only done two. I'm in my second one. The first one is dispute resolution, and right now I'm in transfer pricing. I would say that every single department, not being politically correct, but it has its own charm, and in different places you can find it's a different set of challenges that you have to rise up to, and different skills it takes. In dispute resolution, it's a lot of research skills and a lot of writing skills. But in transfer pricing, we have the benchmarking side and also the drafting of the TP report, the transfer pricing report side. And so in a sense, I learned more about trying to read financial statements and like benchmarking it against like the comparable companies in the industry. I wouldn't say there's a favorite. Maybe I'll tell you when I finish my whole rotation.
So that means stay tuned, guys. Okay, but I think even as we are speaking here, I'm learning quite a lot about what the tax team does, right? To me, I thought tax was just all about collecting taxes, paying taxes. never thought of, writing a report, doing a research. So definitely great hearing from you for sure, Jen. Okay. Now then, the other question, right? I think this one is more towards Rashwin, or maybe even Mikhail can help as well, right? So how does PwC assist graduates of engineering to shifting careers to meet PwC job? So I think what No Shafiq is trying to ask, right, is so how does the firm like PwC, right, assist engineering graduates, to have a more seamless way in having a career here within PwC?
I think for my part, I would say they assign each one of us a coach, and this coach helps us we can speak to her about any of our issues, any issues we're facing, and she'll give us advice on how to go about it, as well as, actually to add on, PwC has the Pwc Professional Framework, where you look at yourself and you see which parts that need improvement personally. There are whole leadership, relationship, technical and digital capabilities, business acumen, and global and inclusive. Global inclusive. So these are all aspects where you look at yourself, you decide which parts you want to improve, you speak to your coach, to your managers, and they will give you advice on how to improve on those aspects.
I see. Okay. So coaching, very important. And luckily here at PwC, we have a lot of that. Okay. Now, I think this one I'll probably throw back to Rashwin, and then after Mikhail can add on as well, right? What is your advice, right, for fresh graduate pursuing career on something which is a bit different compared to what they study?
Okay. So actually, just yesterday night, my friend called me about getting an offer in a different industry from where she studied. So my advice is to be flexible, because life is full of unexpected challenges. So you have to always be flexible. But most importantly is you need to, once you try something, only then you can decide if you like it. After I joined AAP, only then I decided that I liked it. And I stayed.
I see. Okay. Then how about for you, Mikhail?
I think one advice, I guess me coming from an engineering background, we deal with machines. They they can't really talk. So I think engineering students, we don't really deal with people. So I think one advice for, I guess, more specific to engineering students or any other technical students would be people skills or the soft skills, right? Because learning how to communicate. So I worked part-time in retail when I was in uni, which I think really helped me in my communication skill. And I get to meet a lot of people. And I guess I get more comfortable in talking.
I see. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. Some really good advice if you ask me. Okay. Now, I think the next question, I'm just going to go back to my list of questions because I think this will be interesting for all of us to kind of understand, right? Now, one of the question is actually, how do you find, right, working from home so far? Because due to, what Uncle COVID has brought to us, right, all of us are kind of, in a way, were forced, to stay, apart from people and practice social distancing. And I think PwC, we have been on working from home mode for now, right? So I want to understand, how do you find working from home so far? Maybe we can go with Jen?
I think the general sentiment of working from home is that people will feel more isolated and not as connected to their colleagues. And so to make up for this gap, I think it's very important in this working from home mode that people explore communicating with their team more frequently through for PwC it would be Hangout, Google Hangout, or a Google call. Having frequent contact with your team would really help you ease into the flow of this new mode of working.
I see. So yeah, Google Call or Google Meet per se is one of my new favorite words. Oh well, maybe not favorite word, but one of the most common word to use right now, right? Let's Google, right? Okay, all right. Then how about for you, Mikhail?
Right, I think for me, initially it was slightly difficult. I mean, just getting used to the flow of working from home, working in your room, you see your bed, I think you just might want to fall asleep. But I think because I think one of our I guess one of our flex benefits before this was that we were allowed to work from home. So the transition was fairly smooth. I would say it's almost seamless. But I think working from home, you just need to set a routine. Like you wake up here, you know what you want, you set your own workspace. And after that, to be fair, like what Jan said as well, constant communication with your colleagues, just keeping in touch. It's a bit harder that you can't just tap someone on the shoulder, just ask a quick question. You gotta like need to book your time and all. But I would say it's fairly alright.
Okay, that's good. Yep. And I think the physical touching and then after that asking a question right away is something that I think we probably miss, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Then how about for you, Rashmin? How was your experience?
Well, my calendar is pretty much fully booked now.
Yes, I think we all kind of feel the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to add on to Mikhail's points, because he pretty much covered most of it. I think working from home, it became a little tough without the physical connection with your teammates.
Yep.
So as he said, and as you said earlier, it's important to have the G-meets, take 5, and just get feedback from your managers and what to improve on.
Okay.
And also, our managers gave us points for the Flex app.
I see, okay. Now, this is not in here, but I'm just gonna ask, and I'm gonna share my answer first as well, right? What do you miss about the most, from working at home right now? Personally, and this is to my team, I miss all of you guys. So I miss my team, okay? How about for you guys?
I miss having good food.
Okay, because now you cannot just go to Springfield anymore, right? Okay, and you, Jen?
I so agree with him. Like going out to lunch with your colleagues and connecting with your colleagues. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And how about for you, Mikhail?
Yeah, I guess in general, I think everyone in PwC loves food. So, but I think it's just having someone next to you, like because I sit next to my colleagues, next to my team. The 2-minute gossip session, I guess, like it's that personal connection kind of thing that I miss, which we didn't have when working from home.
Yeah. And I guess this one here I'm gonna add on to a bit of what I share, right? The arguing with my colleagues as well. I think now no one argues with me physically anymore, right?
Yeah.
They all are over the screen, can't see them arguing with us anymore. Okay, yep. And I think that's what this working from home has kind of brought us all, right? But I guess with the new norm and the new skills, we just have to kind of get used to it right now until things go back to the original state it was. Okay. Now then, actually, going back to the questions, right? Now there's actually someone that asked, why did you choose the career pathway you are in now? Aside from the personal interest, is there any reason such as the nature of the job that attracted you to your current department program? Maybe Mikhail, you want to start first? Yeah.
Right, I think, so I guess a little story time. When I was in uni, I told myself I would never work corporate. I'm more of a technical person, I think, especially coming from engineering. But after graduating uni, I was thinking, let me just try something different, which, to be fair, I can't complain. It's actually pretty good. Just trying something different, trying something new.
Trying something new. Okay, all right, thank you. Then you, Rashwin?
I feel for me, well, story time again. My internship back when I did my internship, it was in a manufacturing company, and I realized it was not exactly my interest because it was in the semiconductor industry. And I was hoping to go into research and development. And when PwC came and offered me, I looked at the reviews and people who have joined this AAP program. I also read their input, and it sounded interesting, which was why I decided to give it a try. And when I started, like I mentioned earlier, it actually caught my interest, and I love what I'm doing right now.
Okay, all right, that's good to hear. I think a lot of graduates are inspired by your story, hence they're asking as well. Then how about for you, Jen?
I think there are two aspects to this question. The first is why did we choose it? And second question is, of course, what the market needs. Now in this pandemic era, everyone talks about the market being bleak or but I think rather than seeing it as a narrowing of opportunity, we should see it as a redirecting of opportunities. Like new market's the market's gonna evolve and it's gonna change, and so we have to explore. Like not every, I would say that even within the same specialization, not everyone who majored in something go on to use all of the knowledge that the person gained in the academic like degree. So like the skills that is more important like in this time and day and age is more of like being willing to explore, and through work you will find out what you like and your strengths, and you will have a clearer picture of what you want for your life. And so just actively try out what you think you might want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think this is where I also want to just kind of add on a bit, right? I think Jan has a point. I think without me saying it, we know that the world is going through recession right now, right? So for sure, as a graduate right now, you'll find that finding opportunities are definitely going to be tougher. But don't give up, right? Whenever there are opportunities that come along your way, which might not even be related in your field of study or even in the area that you specialize in, hey, no worries. Try to find something which you think you will be able to gain experience on, and eventually take on that opportunity. And from then on, I'm sure you will be able to gain experience and to learn from those opportunities, which then will enable you, right, to be able to pursue a career which you never thought you would have been interested with. And I think it is more so now important, given that we all heard about it, right? The unemployment rate, graduates finding a bit difficult to find a job. Hey, it is a tough time, but don't let these failures be the showstopper, but rather move on and continue and take every failure as your learning experience itself. Okay, and I think for all of the panelists here, we all also kind of just take on something which never I think in Rashun's life would he thought he would have been an auditor by studying engineering, right? Okay.
Right. I guess can I just add on?
Yeah,
of
course.
You won't know whether you will like something or not until you've actually tried it. I thought I wouldn't like a certain food, but after trying it, actually it's not too bad.
Not too bad, right?
Exactly,
yeah. Okay, that's good. Now, I think there's another question, right, which was specific for Jen as well. I think now that you have spoken about what you have done, right, and I think to know surprises, a lot of people actually ask, actually, what do you do when we look at tax as a service? So you mentioned a bit about research, right? So this individual actually asked, so other than tax computation, right, and other than research, actually what else do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis. As a tax professional, I think like there's this idea of tax professionals doing a single kind of job, but it is a world of its own, to be fair. So it really very much depends on like which area of tax are you doing. Are you doing compliancing? If you do compliancing, there's also the advisory side of it, where you give clients, you offer them advice on how it should go about. And also the more famous one, which is the computation. And there are also specialist groups that targets different things, and specialist groups on like maybe customs or like things like other than transfer pricing. There's also other various ones like international tax. It really depends on what you do, but regardless of which line you're in tax, I would say you always have to do managing of client relationship other than just your technical work.
I see. Okay. So another interesting question that just came on board, right, is you all, looks like you're doing very well in your role, right? So actually the audience asks how to be successful in PwC if I want to be a professional in this industry itself. Maybe Jen, you want to share? What's your secret?
My secret, personally, I would say that you know, since I joined the firm not too long ago, I will not say that I have reached the top. I will not say that I'm close to success, but I will say that I'm content with what I've achieved so far. I'm content with seeing the growth that I've experienced in the past year. And I would say that it's really important to just give yourself a chance and always not be afraid of trying. And very importantly, don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of screwing up. Just try it and do it. And if you do anything wrong, just correct it, and you know, you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
Okay, because we're all learning as we grow, right? Yep. Okay, all right. Then Mikhail?
Right, I think I like to add on that be willing to learn. I think that, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. I guess, right, I mean, again, like what Jan said, we're not at the top yet, but I guess having that goal, having like that attitude of always wanting to learn, not scared of making mistakes. I mean, you don't make mistakes intentionally, but if you do, don't beat yourself up too much, because as long as you learn from it, something good comes out of it.
Okay, all right. And Rashwin?
Well, looks can be deceiving. But just to add on, there's like, life will always throw curveballs at you. It's how you deal with the situations. You need to be flexible. And every situation that you deal with is considered experience. And this experience is what will come in handy when you need to progress further in terms of being successful.
Okay. Well, there you go, graduates. Okay, or for those who's tuning in, these are the little secrets which all the panelists here have been working on. So hopefully that will also help you in your career when you do start one, or even in your current one. Okay. Now there's another question that came in right now. Actually, this question is catered to all the panelists. Then the question is actually, what is your advice, right, for undergraduates in this peak challenge situation to upgrade their multi-skills in order to being kept compete and relevant in the industry? So I guess in another layman term, right, how do you upskills yourself, and what would the kind of advice you would give to the graduates right now?
Right, I guess, can I start? If you've graduated already, there are a lot of online platforms where you can learn soft skills. There's even classes on Microsoft Excel. I think you would all agree, skills on Microsoft Excel is pretty crucial. Or any of the Microsoft 365.
Yes.
So I guess take advantage of all these online classes, especially on LinkedIn. I think they are offering free classes, or even people on YouTube. Just keep constantly learning new things. That's one advice I would say. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Jen?
I would say actively read out about the market, about the climate of business. Find out what employers are looking for, and also in terms of concrete technical skills that you can have. I would say be attentive to what areas that the technological side of things are moving. Here in PwC, we do a lot of like technical or digital upscaling also. So we actually we actually have to go for the data analytics classes. We learn how to do Power BI and how to make like data-driven decision-making classes. So I think that's also one area that you can consider, like going to Coursera or like other platforms to learn more about.
Okay. Wow. That's very true. We did a lot of that classes recently as well, right? Okay, I'll speak more about that later. But what about you, Rashwin?
I think here in PwC, like Jan mentioned, it's a lot about data analytics is the current emerging field industry. So that's important, and PwC is providing a lot of training on that. And I recently signed up myself for the classes on data analytics.
Wow. Okay. So maybe I think for those that's watching us and what we are talking about, right? I think recently PwC actually launched something called Future Skills, where Future Skills is inclusive of your digital skills and human skills. And without a doubt, with this new norm and this new skills that's required, digital skills will be definitely part of it, right? So you guys have heard it. there are a lot of courses which, we provide for our staff to be upskilled, and at the same time not foregoing, the most important of us being a human, right, our human skills. So I think one of the emphasis that I want to have and to share to the rest, right, is actually on learning agility. Now, no matter how great, the digital skill sets are, but without you willing to want to learn, right, and wanting to have the ability to learn as well, even, if the tool is just right in front of you, it will just be as great as a tool, okay? So learning agility now is very important. You then have to make sure that, it's not just, forcing yourself, but the willingness, right? And the want to learn new skills as well. So guys, if anything, learning agility is probably one of the skill sets that all of us should be equipped with and kept ourselves abreast, especially right now during this, uncertain times, okay? Now then, okay, we have shared a lot of quite good stuff, okay? Now, there's a question, right, about, challenges, okay? So one of the questions asked is, what do you see as the most challenging aspect on your current job task due to this current pandemic situation? Rashwin?
I would say time management, because I'm actually going on a study break, as I'll be sitting for one of my exams next month. And so it's a lot about dealing with clients, managing their expectations, managing our expectations, getting what we need to perform our work, and just having a weekly review with our manager, like a feedback, just to know what's pending. It's important to get the job flowing for me to finish my work before I go on leave.
I see. Yep. Time management is definitely key, and I think more so or not now when people can just block your time through a calendar, right? So I think time management definitely we need to make sure that nothing crashes and we still have time for that as well. Then how about for you, Jen?
I did my transition from my first rotation to my second rotation during the MCO period. So I had to, work with a new team and try to learn new things during the MCO. And I think that was quite challenging to me. It required to be, instead of having colleagues or like seniors who you can just reach out to, you have to actively go and ask for help and hope that you are not too much of a burden. And I think so. This actually like forced me to take more initiative in like reaching out to people and to be more to be bolder in a sense. Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. Then how about for you, Mikhail?
Right. I think for me currently, as I am on multiple engagements, and one of my engagement is with a different department. Completely new to me. So the challenge is actually learning something new while also managing time of like my other engagement, and which I guess I like about PwC is that you are flexible. You're not just stuck in one team or one department. You can work with other teams, and through that you learn a lot of things.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think without a doubt, right. This is an unprecedented time. So if you say that there are no challenges, I think definitely that's not going to be true, right? So I think all of us encounter different challenges in our role. And I think in my role itself, one of the main challenges I actually encountered during this period, right, was for a lot of these engagements, we actually do it, on a wider scale and with a lot more people. And in fact, I was actually speaking to graduates, Nabil, right, about this when we used to do a lot of career fairs, right, meeting people physically and just talking about opportunity, right? So with this, new norm that we're going into right now, actually, if we did a career fair, right, I think probably the government will come down to us, right? So we probably won't do that. But really during this time of time is to rethink about how do then we engage with talents, right? And how do we stay abreast as well on what the students are looking out for, and how do we then provide whatever that we can that we used to do physically to a more virtual platform right now. So that was definitely one of the challenge that I encountered throughout this whole lockdown period, and how to transition to more virtual itself. And I guess this is where also kind of thanks the firm as well, right, for the transformation with the digital technologies that we have. So it made it actually quite easily, for us to ease into or transition into this working from home itself. So I guess there will be challenges, but don't shy away challenges, right? When there are new challenge, then there will be, of course, change, and I think change is always going to be there. So for sure, then there's something for us to also just make sure that we keep on upskilling ourselves as well. Now, then following on with another question, okay, and this one I'm going to go first, okay. So this actually is a question, right, that asks, so what makes PwC different or better among the big four? Okay, so I'm going to answer this first. Actually, if you ask me if we were better, I don't think that's the right word that I would use, right? But I think each of the big four are different and unique in their own way. And it's really then for you, right, to decide which one aligns with, what you'll be looking for. So personally, I think the purpose of why PwC is here, which is building trust in society and solving important problems, right? That purpose actually resonated with me in a lot of what I do, okay? So hence why, after understanding the purpose and, what PwC does and the kind of culture that it has and the opportunity that it has provided, right? Hence, that was the decision why I also, decided that this is the place for me, okay? I have been with this year for roughly about 6 years now, and I can tell you that, the learning curve and the opportunities that have been given is what I've enjoyed the most. And that then really is one of the differentiator, right, that I feel for me working in a firm like PwC itself. How about for the rest of you guys? Maybe Jen first?
I've not been to all firms, so I can't really speak for the other firms. So I would say that go beyond, what's that, laoyat.com. Just don't trust. One man's poison might be another man's soup. So you have to speak widely, speak to different people, reach out to different people, and find out what they enjoy or do not enjoy, and try to find out if it's try to decide for yourself if it's something that you see yourself being a good fit in, rather than following what people say to be good or bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I guess like what Ken said. I mean, we don't say we are better. I mean, every firm has its own pros and cons, or some have more benefits, some has a bit more flexibility. But I would say that the PwC is at least it allows you to find out whether you like it or not. I mean, I guess we are quite diverse, and I guess we provide that safe space for you to learn and for you to actually find out whether PwC is the right firm for you or not.
Okay, and you, Rashwin?
I believe for me, personally, as like all of you mentioned, every firm is unique. But for me personally, I like the flex benefits.
Okay, yeah.
Working flexibly has a major impact on my attitude, and I'm very positive at work. So that is important, and also I like the relationships I have in my colleagues here. Everyone is nice, everyone is professional, and in fact, on my current engagement, we have a team event at the end of the day. Yesterday we were playing chess after work.
There you go.
Wow. Okay. All right. How about for you guys? Do you have any other team activities that you engage on as well?
Yeah. I mean, I've had so my colleague and I, so my teammate, we went running together.
Wow.
So initially at the beginning of this year, we actually bought tickets for the Standard Chartered Marathon to run together. So I guess colleagues are from work, but we are also friends at the same time. But unfortunately, this whole pandemic happened. Standard Chartered got cancelled, postponed to next year. So
Okay. And how about for you, Jen?
The most recent one is in Lunar New Year, not so recent.
Okay.
So the entire dispute resolution and transfer pricing department, we all went to Stripes Hotel for Loshang. Yeah, and it's paid for by our boss.
Okay, so there you go, guys. It's not just all about work. Okay, there are activities which you do beyond work as well here within the organization. So I guess hopefully that kind of take away some of the myths that's out there about working at a professional services firm and what it is like. Okay, now I think after hearing from all of you one of the questions actually that's just asked, right? It was quite similar to the second question I asked. So what, if you could sum up your experience at PwC in one word, what would that word be? Maybe Mikhail?
Oof, I think diverse. I mean, at the top of my head right now would be diversity. I mean, coming from different aspects where, like how I said earlier, I could be in engagement with different teams, different departments, but also within this small team of mine, the BCM team, there's 6 of us. There is someone who studied mechanical engineering. There's another teammate who did major in music. There's one who's doing accounts and finance and IT. So diversity, I think, yeah.
Wow. And I kind of just realized as well, talking about diversity, we have a quite diverse, group here on the panel as well. Okay, all right. Then how about for you, Jen?
I would say space to grow, space to figure out what you want for your career. And I think that's very important when you're in the initial years of your career, because you're just basically testing out things. And don't think that your first job is going to be your last job. So don't fret too much about choosing something that might look like that's something that you don't imagine yourself being in, because it might not be something you'll be in forever. So it's important to be in a place that allows you to try out different things. And that's also one of the motivating factor for me joining the tax management training program. And and room to also room to help each other to reach the goal of the team. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And you, Rashmin?
I think I will co-opt Jen's answer from earlier.
Okay.
And say it's inspiring.
Okay.
Because being able to meet different clients, work on different engagements in different industries, it helps broaden your mindset, your aspect of not just the world, but you gain knowledge in different industries, which is very important in progressing personally on your career path.
I see. Okay, all right. Well, thanks a lot. I think hearing from your word as well, I think my own experience, to sum up, how it has been in this, whole 6 years within the firm, definitely enriching. I think every day is a learning day for me itself, and I think that's actually what really kept me going, right? The learning that you get working in an organization like this is what's important, because I think if you are not learning anymore, then I think we are going to be quite, in a way, not sure where we are headed to. So I think enriching is one experience that, I would sum up how it has been within the firm. Now,
I actually have there's actually a saying in Audit: every day you learn something new.
Yes, without a doubt, right? Now, I also wanted to just kind of address some of the questions that's asked here, which I didn't share with the panelists, right? Now, I think a lot of the recruitment process and intakes as well, when are we hiring and all, I'm not going to ignore them. I just wanted to address them by saying that, actually, if you go on to our website at PwC Malaysia, you will be able to find the portal which you are able to submit your application for. And for whichever intakes or job openings that we have right now, you will be able to also find them through our website. So for all of those questions related to applications or intakes, do look out at the PwC Malaysia website, and you will then be able to see the process and how to submit your application. Now, similarly as well, I think the other question that I wanted to address as well, right, is about opportunities come next year itself. You will probably not find a lot of it right now within the portal, but no worries. Just stay connected with us. Look out for updates by subscribing to our Fresh Off the Grad newsletter as well. You will then be able to get updates and insights as per what's generally happening within the organization. And from there, now you also be able to see what are the things that's happening. Now, last but not least, I think one thing that I wanted to add, right, is what we have shared about upskilling and digital skills. Now, PwC has actually launched an app called Digital Fitness app. It is free for all to download now. And I think there are a lot of interesting contents on Digital Fitness app itself for you to kind of upskill yourself to. So if you have not had the opportunity to download this or understand this, right, please do go ahead and visit our Pwc Malaysia website. You will then be able to find a QR code, right, where it allows you to kind of download the app for free, and also then goes through the content in there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know whether you guys went through it or not, but I think the last content that I saw, which was quite interesting, right, was talking about esports as well. And I think what Jen also spoke about for data analytics, all of that are able to be found on this Digital Fitness app. So if you haven't had the chance to, do go ahead and download it. It's free, and do try to upskill yourself with that. Okay. Now, I think it has been quite an interesting 15 minutes that we have been here trying to share your Pwc experience. Now, maybe just a couple more questions from the floor before we end the session. And I think one of the questions that was asked is, how is your work-life balance after joining PwC? Maybe Mikhail?
I mean, yeah. Work-life balance is something you always need to manage. I mean, life goes on. I guess a tip, or I guess not to scare new graduates, but I guess there will always be work, but learn to prioritize and manage your time. I mean, we're all humans. We're not robots. We can't work every single hour of our waking life. Time management is important, and the fact that the firm allows us to take the flex benefits, I think that really helped with the work-life balance.
I see. Okay, that's good to hear that flex journey has made an impact to your career itself.
Definitely.
And that's great to hear that, and that's encouraging, right? Because I think ultimately, whatever that the organization rolls out is for everyone. So I'm really encouraged to hear that. Okay. Now, how about for you then, Jen?
I think work-life balance, we have to see it through the lens of the nature of work that you're working in. It's very department dependent, it's very peak period dependent, because we cannot change the tax submission, the tax filing deadlines of the tax authorities. We cannot change when the financial statements need to be done. And so once you enter your respective job, you try to see how the ebb and flow of the department is like, and you plan accordingly, and you plan according to the different seasons of the work, rather than a daily 9 to 5 delineation of work. And after work, I want to do so and so. You try to give and take a little bit here and there.
Yeah. So I actually gonna add on a bit to what Jen said, right? I think if you're looking for a 9 to 5 job, I think at PwC maybe that's not, we don't practice 9 to 5, right? Okay, but I think if you look at flexibility wise, there is a lot, and I guess ultimately it is the performance and the output that we strongly encourage on, right? And that's why I think this is then the work-life balance per se that you will be able to experience here in your journey working as a PwC professional. Okay, and how about you? For you, Rashwin?
I believe for me, I'll just add on to your answers and say, in my personal experience, I've always, before the pandemic at least, every weekend I will have an event with different sets of friends, basketball, futsal, maybe going on a trip to Ipoh or Malacca or Penang. Always have something planned for your weekend.
Okay.
Even if you have work, you can work from home. So you can take your work with you. You don't have to work every hour. If it's important, you need to work on it, you do your work. But make sure you have something planned for yourself. Even if you need to take the day like a Sunday, have no events, just rest. That's important as well, to have a proper, to relieve the tension and stress throughout the work week.
Okay, I see. Now, Rashwin, I think if I remember earlier, you also spoke about you're going on study leave soon, right?
Yes.
How long will you be away for?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And you see, who says auditors work 365 days a year, right? No, he's going on leave for 2 weeks. I also want to try to apply for that. Okay. How about for you guys? Do you guys have any plans, coming up soon? Jen, Mikhail?
Well, I actually just got back from Kuantan, actually. Went to the beach. Hotel prices were really cheap. Got sunburnt, so that was fun. I guess, like you said, like during the weekends, relax your mind. You know?
Okay, and that's encouraging to hear, right? This one just came back from leave. This one here is going on leave. Okay, and how about you, Jen?
During the RMC, actually last month, I took 1 week off to sit for an exam for this online course that I did about intellectual property and trademarks, which I have like an interest in. So I took the time off to write my papers, and yeah, and I finished it, done and dusted.
Okay, well, I hope my boss is not watching, but I'm gonna take leave soon too, boss, after hearing from them. Okay, all right. Now, I think, you know, for personally, for me itself as well, I have been for the firm for 6 years, right? So I think without a doubt, when it's needed, taking a leave is definitely not an issue, okay? But of course, I think what's important then, right, is to make sure you plan your work as accordingly, to make sure that, you know, when you do go on leave, right, then, you know, no one has to kind of like pick up, you know, whatever mess per se, right, that you have left behind, but rather it has all been, you know, properly in a way allocated, so that you can then also go on leave as accordingly. So I think that's then, you know, come back to Rashwin has said, time management, managing your also stakeholders, right? So I think that those are quite important. And maybe just one last one, right, for us to close this off. And I think this one will probably be just as, you know, as common as what every panelist or moderator will ask, right? What would be your one advice, you know, for everyone that's watching us or listening to us right now, as they move into their next career, or maybe even looking out for career opportunity right now? What would be your one advice to them? Maybe Rashwin?
I would say, just to wrap things up, from everything that I've spoken about, you need time management, you need to be flexible, because life is unexpected. We're facing a pandemic, and then upskilling, you know. Right now, the world is changing. Data analytics is the emerging technology. So being able to be flexible, to learn, and to also manage your time, to gain a work-life balance is very important. It's how you manage it that will determine how successful you are in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Rashwin. Okay.
Thank you.
And Jen?
I cannot stress enough the importance of trying out new things.
Okay.
And actively seek out new things, see what's on the market, apply whatever that you think that will allow you to learn or grow in some form in the future. And also don't think that you might not be able to match up, because it's not up to you to decide, but it's up to the recruiter to decide for you whether you can do it. And even if you don't get the job, you know, it might not mean that, you know, you are not good enough. It might just mean that they have like you're not the person that they are looking for in this season.
Or the time is not right as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Jen. Okay, and you, Mikhail?
Right, I think one tip is don't be scared. I think I used to be scared of like, about, you know, anxious about work and everything. But be agile, improvise, adapt, overcome. And like I'm constantly learning new things, be it on the job or even out of the job. Like for now, just personally, I think I'm starting to take like music theory. I mean, just started, but that's beside the point. But yeah, be agile, have that constant growth, whether be it in career or in personal or family. You know?
Okay.
Just don't be afraid. Yeah.
Okay. So if I can just wrap up what each of them has shared, right? Really being agile, being resilient, okay, and also upskilling at this point of time is what I'm hearing from all three of the panelists. And it's more so or not important right now, especially during this pandemic that we're going through. And maybe to also help all the graduates out there, right? If you ever need any of these resources, why not follow, you know, Pwc on all the social media accounts that we have? Download the digital fitness app that I have just shared. All of this info are actually available through the different platforms. And eventually, if you enjoyed this session here with us and what we have actually spoken about as well, a lot of this can be found on our social media platforms too. So do connect with us and, you know, stay in touch. And eventually, go through our website, you can get all the resources that will be required as well. And I think ultimately, upskilling, right? It's not just about PwC as well. There are many resources like what Jan has mentioned. Do take this opportunity then, right, to go ahead and upskill yourself with all of these platforms. And I think the other one that Michael has shared as well is also the LinkedIn platform. So all of these are then different sources and channels which you are able to leverage on for upskilling itself. So really, again, thanks Michael, Jan, and Rashwin for joining us for this session itself. I am also learning from hearing from you as well, and hopefully, for the rest of the audience. And really, let's just say, thank you to the audience who have been watching us. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you everyone.
Good luck. See ya.
Oh hey, you're here. Great, I need your help with this. Because you see, we've been getting quite a lot of questions about life here at PwC. So we thought, why not answer a few of them? You in? Great, let's get started then. Let's see. Hey, PwC, do you do anything else besides audit? Well, this may come as a surprise, but yes we do. At PwC, we not only have assurance, but also consulting, tax, and deals. Basically, we're a professional services firm with opportunities available for you with programs like the Aspiring Accountants Program, Tax Management Training, Industry and Junior Explorer, and even the Earn While You Learn program for non-degree holders. To find out exactly what each line of service does and opportunities available for you, check out our website. Next question. Hey PwC, I heard all you do is work. Is it always about the work? Again, another surprising answer. Of course not. Here at PwC, we believe to be well, live well under our PwC Wellbeing Program. At PwC, we have our Zumba classes, yoga, namaste, and Ur at PwC. Oh, that feels nice. Oh yeah, we also have opportunities for corporate responsibility work, such as recycling and earning more rewards. That's not all. There's our Flex Plus program that helps create a more flexible working environment. Firstly, we can dress for our day, and that's called Flex Wear. Meaning, if we're meeting our clients, then we dress accordingly. Otherwise, we can be a little bit more flexible. There are also other initiatives like Flex Time, where we can choose when to start work. And there's Flex Points, which is a real-time recognition app which allows us to express and receive appreciation, which we can then use to redeem rewards. Oh hey, it looks like I have enough points for more Starbucks vouchers. Okay, another question. Hey, what's your office like? Why not judge it for yourself? Check out our hot desking with new views and new people every day. Collaborative spaces like at 15, free drinks, in-house cafe, business center, our digital wall. Great views, and just awesome people around me. Hey. Okay, what's next? Hey, PwC, how do you grow your career? Ooh, that's a good one. We've got a good answer. You see, learning happens anytime, anywhere here. Our personal learning resource comes along with us where we go and works just like Spotify. Search, select, play, or even create your own learning playlist and share it. And next question. Hey, PwC, do you only work within Malaysia? Yes and no. While we do have offices in Penang, Ipoh, Kuala Lumpur, Melaka, Johor Bahru, and Labuan, we have plenty of opportunities to work with the PwC network from all over the world with super easy to use collaborative tools. Okay, let's take another one. Oh, bye. Bye. And it's time, because the second Friday of the month, we get to leave at 12:30 p.m. thanks to Flex Fridays. Check out our upcoming videos to get a closer look into PwC. Gotta go. Bye.